graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
This is an alert from Central Dispatch. Major disturbance reported.
You're listening to the BNC show on the whatever the fuck network this is.
God damn it, is that damn
BNC show? Dude, don't stand around and hold your nuts. Dude, turn the volume up. It's time for the BNC show. Every week you got some special treats. I even bang all of my freaks to the motherfucking BNC show. It's just two dudes with no class. I'm surprised you two ain't bang their ass on the BNC show. Whew, you wild out. Yeah. And every week I'm calling for a time out listening to the BNC show. C, he brings the real. And B, he brings the science and shit. But it's still on the BNC show. Kodak crazy questions got you guessing. But just listen close. It's always a lesson on the BNC show. My girlfriend thinks you're dummies, but I still listen cause I think you're funny when I'm listening to the BNC show. I love the BNC show. Yo, C, what we gonna talk about this week? Man, it don't even matter. Alright, well, come on, B, you ready? Let's go. Stupid motherfuckers. Hey, BNC, would you sign my titties?
Well, welcome back. It's show 10.
No. Do that shit again.
Okay.
Well. That's how you used to do it, man.
I about spit my 40 up everywhere. How you doing? It's show 10. We're back in the building. I don't know.
Back in it.
Everybody thought we were dead. They're like, what happened? Y'all get banned from YouTube or something? What happened?
It's the B&C show. We have not been banned from YouTube. Not yet anyway, but thankfully.
We have not been banned.
And we haven't got a contract yet from them either.
No.
I'm a little disappointed.
Well, I have a confession to make.
Please confess.
So there's the whole...
I will exercise your demons.
Well, but you know how you could choose to put commercials on your videos or not so you can generate ad income or whatever?
Okay, yeah.
Well, I just figured our traffic is not in the millions, so what's the big deal? So I said, fuck you, no commercials.
I like that choice because that pisses me off. Especially the ones like I don't mind the ones where they like at least give you a chance to click off.
Yeah.
Skip this ad or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But the other ones where they're 30 seconds and you got to listen to some politician or, a Black & Decker commercial or something. I mean, that is annoying as fuck, right?
Oh, yeah. I totally... There's that new thing for Facebook that just got put out to where if you're using Facebook on your phone and you want to use the messaging tool...
You don't want to use that thing.
You got to download the app. Well, this is something that we've been... A recurring theme that we've talked about previously.
We have spoken about this, dude.
But the privacy rights on that app, oh my God, they're horrendous. You just basically say you can have my contacts.
Is that all true? Because they can send people in lieu of you and blah blah blah. I mean, is that all true?
Oh, it's true. And you have most phones today have a camera on the front and the back.
They do.
Well, they can in this agreement you give them authorization to be able to turn that on or off without you knowing or being notified.
I have not agreed to that yet. I've seen all these, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm good. Usually I don't receive any messages via Facebook.
It's died down. I think a lot of the kids are on Instagram and Snapchat and stuff like that now.
Yeah, very interesting where they're at right now. But we've been around and about these last 30 or so days.
Yeah,
maybe a little longer, but a couple big things going on. We got. First off, mad respect to Robin Williams.
Rest in peace.
Has definitely made me laugh a million times.
Yeah, what a tragedy. And we're still getting the facts on that whole deal. There's kind of like an undercurrent that believes that there's some foul play going on somehow. I'm not going to get into that. But.
The guy. I just watched in the actor studio, and he was giving propers to his wife and loved his kids and every. He's a crazy kooky guy, but. I don't know. I don't know if you heard this, but Warcraft is going to put... He was a big Warcraft player. He played Warcraft all the time?
Yeah, and they're going to put an in-game, character of him, in the game, as a memorial.
So that character can whoop your ass?
Well, it'll be like something just like...
is it like a jersey going up like a retired player?
He'll probably be in some city hanging out, telling jokes, selling cool stuff.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, just, so anybody can go chill.
I just enjoyed that guy, and... I know most of the populace did. I don't know any of the facts, and I would never know because I was not there, but I know a lot of people have shown love.
Yeah.
And the BNC show does as well, because we enjoy nothing more than laughter. So.
Oh, you'll appreciate this. He was in, I think, Iraq or Afghanistan doing a show.
That's awesome.
And they took the flag down or put the flag up, one of the two. And so when it happened, like the trumpet went off and all the troops knew what that meant, so they all like stood up and turned the other way.
It was what do you call taps of reveille. So it depends on what time he was there. So it was probably nighttime.
But anyway, he was doing his show, and then they did that, and the whole crowd stood up and faced the other way, and he just, it kind of dawned on him that they must have been doing something ceremonial, so he just didn't say anything and waited for everybody to turn back around. It was just a good moment, because he was just like, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, it's strange, man. If you're ever on a Marine Corps base, or I'm not sure who follows it, but when the colors go, if you're in public and you're in uniform, matter of fact, if you're on the base and you're just out and about, you could be at the PX, the softball field, or wherever. I bet your ass. You remember we used to play softball out there?
Yeah.
We would have stopped and shown respect. It's really just respect for the flag and just remember where you're at type of deal. Another thing is the old ice bucket challenge.
That, and before we go too far, we're going to get to the ice bucket challenge. We're going to take a quick break, but before we take a break, do you know who the most subscribed person is on YouTube? The person that has the most subscribed viewers.
It's got to be Lady Gaga.
That's a good guess, but it's actually a kid that tests video games and commentates over them.
No kid.
He makes like $6 million a year.
Off of YouTube.
He gets so many views on his page, and then he's got the advertising money generated.
What's his name and number? I need to holler at the man.
Yeah, I mean, that stat just
He's
came
a kid,
out,
so what
he's
are
like
we talking?
23, 24, 25.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, he's definitely in a network.
But a lot going on. We got the Ice Bucket Challenge we're going to talk about. We got the Ferguson catastrophe going on that was finally winding down. We're going to discuss NFL season's coming up. We got This Week in History. We got Earth Facts. B is trying to get a guest on the phone. I mean, we've been MIA for a couple weeks now, so we're trying to get back in the flow of things. We apologize for
we're trying.
The break. We had some shakeups, but we're back on the air, finishing the season 1 strong, and we'll be back in 10 seconds. Just listen to the B&C show.
That's it.
I'll be back. Go ahead. Make my day.
Your dreads are looking really fine, sir.
Thank you. I'm just glad I didn't have to cut them.
Your studio, however, is atrocious.
The studio is not looking good. There's like empty Gatorade bottles everywhere, and
that's what I'm seeing. This is
cans of soup.
They should at least be filled with water, not the soup, but the Gatorade bottles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you would like to take a peek in the fridge, there is cold water in there. I've been trying to drink more water. I know I don't drink.
I'm not gonna look in your fridge, man. I trust you. I bring beer to the party. I don't.
It's right there, though. I mean, you could just it's not like you got to like walk across the house. It's right there.
Okay.
I like how you bang on the mic to like you're walking somewhere.
Yeah, that was me. That was me walking. I see Sprite,
That's
purple stuff. Oh, Sonny D.
I want that purple stuff.
Yeah.
So this ice bucket challenge, what's your take on it?
Part of me was like, okay, what are we doing? Because the first thing was like people lighting themselves on fire, and I was like, that is like the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. But
we were getting high when we were kids. These kids are setting themselves on fire.
These kids are fucking setting themselves on fire in the shower with people videotaping. I mean, I don't care. Like, do your thing. I'm not doing that. I don't give a fuck what it's for. But the ice bucket challenge actually is cool.
Yeah.
For several reasons.
Okay.
It's a great cause.
They've raised a shit ton of money.
They've engaged the entire nation.
I think it went from like they were raising a couple $1 million a year to like they've raised I think like $15 or $20 million this year or something. Just
celebrities
ridiculous.
Are involved.
Did you see what Charlie Sheen did?
I didn't see his.
Charlie Sheen hadn't done anything worth a damn in 2 decades, a decade and a half. But what he did is he took a bucket of whatever, like he was going to dump it on himself, and he dumped $10,000 on himself. And he said, "I'm donating this money."
Yeah.
So it was like, thank you, Charlie Sheen. Thank you for coming down.
Yeah, well, but it's engaging everybody, which is I mean, just me as being me. I'm like, what is the attraction here? But what's funny is. I have not been nominated.
I haven't been either. I was going to ask you if anybody's nominated.
Nobody's nominated.
We don't have any friends.
I guess not, man. I mean, but
jeez,
I definitely support the shit. But
you would think that we would have been the first ones to get asked, but we haven't been asked at all.
Nobody wants to see wet dreadlocks.
It stink the place up a little bit. It smelled like you at a rave at Portland.
Oh shit! Or a swamp,
What was it called?
swamp in Louisiana.
I finally found out what that smell was called. It's called like Egyptian musk or something like that. This girl had it on, and I'm like, "What is that smell called?" And she told me, and
She had it on.
I think it was a.
She chose that smell.
Well, it's like a very hippie-ish thing because like every time I was at a big party on the West Coast, the place had a smell to it. You know, it just smelled like hippies. You know, and I mean I guess when my dreads get wet, I can kind of smell it too.
I'm just gonna. I'll tell you, man. I mean, people that don't bathe in a couple of days, they turn colors and they start to get the animalistic. But that's you ever wonder why like dogs and squirrels and shit know you're around? It's probably because you stink.
Well, I mean, I don't think can you smell me from there? Like, are you saying I stink?
I smell what the Rock is cooking.
You smell weed. You don't smell body odor.
All right, you're right. I'm just messing with you. I just want to know you're
it's
looking
all right.
animalistic, and I like
Thank
that.
you.
And you have those type of rights.
That's where the whole like I'm not trying to pretend I'm some Rastafarian or something, but it's just more about like me as being an asshole. I'm trying to not only remind myself but everybody that comes in contact with me of like what we truly are. Like we are primates. I don't know. Maybe it's just
I love
some
that. No. Go with that because I agree, man. Everybody's all worried about what's here now, but they're forgetting the basics. And I always go back to this shit. Know how to build a fire. Know where to sleep in the woods, and that's nothing. That's like knowing how to tie your shoe.
Most people don't have any type of backup food or water. Like I've got my family we've got like gallons and hundreds of gallons of water just stacked up for no reason.
It's the way to go, man.
I know that sounds kind of crazy, but
it's not. Just drink it.
You got to be prepared, I mean, the shit's
well, you use water for everything. Like that's it's not just. Of course, you need it to survive, but like, what are you gonna wash your shit with? What are you gonna fucking boil that shit in? You know what I'm saying? Certain foods, you have to cook that way. I don't know.
So I'm writing a book. Have I told you about this?
I have heard about this said book through our through the industry.
It's kind of a science fiction novel, but
I gotta hear it. I gotta hear it from the secretary of the fucking label.
Right. Well, what's crazy about it is that I was doing a lot of digging, and apparently synthesizing water is possible because of that whole. What was that big blimp that blew up?
The Hindenburg.
So
I just watched something on that.
So the Hindenburg blew up and it created a bunch of water because of the explosion.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it was hydrogen, fire,
right.
oxygen, the melting and shit.
The problem is controlling that blast. So if you can control the blast, then you can synthesize water. Right? Or am I completely misinterpreting this experiment?
Here's what's I wouldn't go any further with that, and I'm gonna go all crazy on you with this. I'm gonna hit my beer first.
Please do. Who do we need to do a toast to? I mean, we need to have like a weekly toast.
A weekly toast?
Who are we gonna toast to?
You'll have to decide that, man. I'm all up on the Hindenburg.
All right, go ahead, please.
Water is recyclable. It recycles. It goes in the air, back in the ocean, through your bodies, through animals' bodies. It never goes away. It's here forever, right? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
That's what the science books told me back in the day.
Well, they say matter is not created or destroyed, so I mean...
But everything, man, photosynthesis, all that shit is like a huge circle, man. And water is like one of the main ones.
Yeah.
So it evaporates into a gas, goes up into the clouds, builds up into a mass, comes back down as fucking water, clean or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We filter it, we drink it, we piss it out. Where does that go? Okay, that evaporates into clean water.
Mm-hmm. It's
just one of those recyclable things. So, I mean, I don't see any real need to regenerate that. That's a gift. That's a gift. And it's something we shouldn't think about. I don't know, man. I might be crazy. And I'll probably be proven wrong.
We'll do some more digging on that. I mean, obviously the fossil fuels are limited. I'm assuming fresh water, like natural fresh water, is probably limited. But I don't know if this is true, but I was looking at some of my underground sites, and there's a lot of evidence to suggest that there is an ocean larger than the oceans that we know about underneath, like, way deep and under our surface.
I can go with that.
But they can't get to it because like the deepest
that leads
state
to one of my
Iran
Earth facts.
Oh, does it? Well, let's get to that next. So we're gonna change the format a little round. Up next, after this break, we're gonna do B's Earth facts.
Earth facts, baby.
So it's week 10.
Week 10. It
Still
came.
around.
It came a couple weeks later, and we apologize, but things were electric.
How long was the layover? Like we had like what, a 3-week layover?
It had to been 3 or 4.
Like, we might have took a month off. We'll just say that we
3
were
or
like
4,
on
yeah.
ESPN schedule and everybody took summer vacation.
But it was not vacation.
Just say we got suspended. Like you got suspended.
I cursed too many times.
You got suspended by Calvin Klein. Like like Calvin Klein's paying you to be their spokesman, and here you are talking on podcasts.
I had to go on that tour
About wieners.
I had to show my wiener.
Y'all remember Wienerville? All right, we'll be back in 10 seconds. B&C show.
I drink your milkshake.
He slimed me.
Earth facts. What you got, B?
Earth facts. Here we go. 90% of the ocean is unexplored.
Wow.
What does that mean, see? What you were talking about.
Oh,
There's
aliens.
some forbidden sea where mermaids and shit live.
Dinosaurs.
And dinosaurs are still there, like 20,000 leagues under the sea. Read it if you haven't. Watch the fucking movie. There's a couple. There's an old school, and they have one with Brendan Fraser, and that's how you say his name.
I was feeling it.
I'm not sure, but that was a fantastic movie.
Okay.
Check it out. The other Earth fact I would like to say, and we can go on about that if you want to.
I would like to talk about that. That's pretty epic. Did you watch any Shark Week?
You know what, man? I didn't boycott Shark Week, man. I've just been concentrating on what's going on right now. But
no, I know you've been busy.
Yeah, I love sharks, and I know a lot about it. And I've been seeing on the social media what they've been saying. I actually saw a grouper eat a shark, which is pretty cool. It just goes to show you that life is precious. But keep going. But I haven't, man. Has it been interesting?
It's been wild. The reason why I had like kind of a special interest in this is they've been able to tag so many great whites now, and they have these websites to where you can go and see where these sharks are. And there's one that's been hanging around Myrtle Beach.
Right.
And that was a lot of fun to kind of, from all the scientific data that they've been generating and all they've been learning about them. But my favorite part was the weird ones, like the goblin sharks and the bastards that can generate light and all the weird stuff like that. And,
right.
And then they had
that goes into it though, like yeah.
What do you call the megadon or the
megalodon?
Like the biggest,
the biggest shark ever.
And, yeah,
they've got teeth the size of the studio here.
Oh God! And I mean, I love the ocean. The ocean and me. She is like the mistress for me, man. Like she talked to me, like the sun and like the ocean were like jealous because I would like concentrate on one or the other,
There's something spiritual. No, there's something spiritual about being in the ocean, and that goes back to where we're at, man, with the recycling water. I mean, the ocean is like some untapped shit.
So intoxicating.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Why is there salt, man? Salt cures everything. I mean, right?
My old lady called me out too. I was like, the second day I was there, I had got right and went down there. And,
you got a little turned up?
Oh, I got right, brother. And I talked to the sun, and then I talked to the ocean. And I came back, and she was like, you were out there talking to the ocean, weren't you?
There's nothing wrong with it, bro. You should have seen me in the deserts of Yuma and the deserts of...
you used to bury the Jays and stuff.
The Babylon, bro.
You used to have rituals.
I had rituals.
Yeah.
I had to find 3 trees that were in a triangle shape.
In the desert.
Close together. It was a little weird, but I did it, and I came back. So, holla. Much love for my people that
Yuma,
fought.
Arizona.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago. We hadn't forgot about you.
Damn
Thomas
right.
and who else was out there?
Geo.
Man.
We had a lot of friends out there, man.
Big up to,
the director, Alano, Chuck Manning, Miles Kelly, who I'm trying to get on the phone.
Mad Dog, I hope you're still
Mad Dog,
alive.
he still is. He liked to post on my Facebook the other day.
He's still around?
He needs to call somebody.
Oh, I gotta get him on Facebook, man. That's the one thing Facebook has been good for.
That's about it.
Like I've gotten into a lot of trouble over Facebook and
they
MySpace,
snoop on your shit. Not
know.
the females in life, but the government.
Both.
Everything. Everything's crazy. We gotta cut it out.
So
we got tapped into right now.
What's the second one? You only got me half hard.
Okay. Well, I spoke about the hottest temperature on Earth.
I remember that. And you made fun of me because I said Asia, and then it was Russia, and I didn't get credit for it. Because when I say Asia, everybody thinks the Orient, and then we talked about how the Orient is a derogatory term, and then I got yelled at, and then there was hate mail. And
Are you bringing up old shit?
I am, but you... All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
All
please.
right,
Please
dude,
continue.
it's good commentary, man. It's just how we do things on this the B&C show. Like in meetings, you're telling me this can be like it's risque. You had to go risque, man.
This is my brother.
Do some wild ass shit.
This is my brother.
And then he's gonna ridicule me for just being a little wild on this motherfucker.
When would I ever ridicule
Okay,
you?
all right. Well, I forgive
Not
you,
in
and
a
I love you.
million years.
And great show. Hey, Adam Stone had a show. We knocked it out.
Hey, thanks.
Y'all should show a little love. Somebody like you, Adam Stone on YouTube. Just type that in. You'll. It's the first one, baby.
I would like to thank the 50 people that were there and the 3 people that came for us.
I appreciate it.
I'd like
too.
to thank that. That was fantastic. Had a great time.
We had a good time. We were playing soccer out in the parking lot. We set up so early.
Oh yeah, it was nice. The guys from New York.
4 nights gone.
4 nights gone.
Yeah. We kicked their van.
We did. As soon as they pulled in.
Surge basically just booted something and it just.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, people that don't know like how the gigs work, because let's say the gig, the doors open at 9 o'clock. Well, you got to be there at like 6 for load in and sound check.
Yeah, especially the first band.
Oh,
and you want to be that because you spend a little time. The sound guy's waking up.
Right.
And he's like, all right,
Sound guy's waking up. Totally.
And they see that you're legit. That's the best part. If they see that you're legit and you kind of know your way around it, and they'll treat you a little better. Not disrespecting anybody, but it's a job sometimes to those guys as well. So
a big thank you to Surge and Spiker.
Yeah, and a big thank you
Tyler.
to the whole entire lineup that we had, but the club as well. We were treated very well.
Because I don't know if people know the exact story, but me and B, kind of have this Steely Dan thing to where we've, always worked together for years and years. But long story short, we had this gig coming up, and we, like, the guys that we weren't playing couldn't commit to the show, and it's just been, like, kind of a common theme. So long story short, we, like, had to build a new band in a month's time. And we were able to pull it off and steal the show outside of the group from New York who always tears it down. But I mean, we held our own. I mean, we went up there and did the thing, and that's tough. I mean, it's not like everybody's got jobs and everything, so it's not like you can rehearse every day.
Exactly.
And just hang out.
I mean, no disrespect to anybody, but
no, not at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Everybody's
have
grown
our needs
men.
as well.
Exactly. Like we don't have kids. We don't have, wives yelling at us. So it's a lot easier for me and B and guys that are on our wavelength to be 30 and still playing in rock bands. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like I was looking at the
something
YouTube
I
channel.
have to do, bro. It's not even a question. I mean, I'm always write music, whether just by myself with that Ovation, which is now, that thing's 11 years old, bro.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we don't fuck around. We've written probably, that's the honor of it. A guitar is nothing. It's like a blank piece of paper for an artist.
Yeah.
You don't figure it out. You don't strum the chords. You're not going to create anything. But the second we got off tangent just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and spit out the second. You guys know I talked about the hottest place on earth.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where that whole thing spun out of control, right?
It really did. It really did. But that's fine.
I take responsibility for that. Totally.
Well, you shouldn't. We it's just a fucking radio show. Goddamn, we're supposed to fill the air with some shit.
I'm sorry.
So the coldest place on Earth.
Can I guess?
You can guess.
All right. Antarctica.
Where?
I'd assume
there's nowhere. There's nowhere in Antarctica, bro. This motherfucker. Basically, you have stations where scientists and shit set up. So. If you can say this better than me, you can, but it's the Vostok Station, Antarctica.
Wow.
Where sensors recorded negative 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, my God.
And that was in the, September 13th.
This year?
Excuse me, no. That was July 21st, 1983.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, and that was that's the summertime. So in Antarctica, you have zero.
Jesus.
You have nothing. That's pretty much crazy right there. So the coldest place on Earth, negative 128 degrees. And this could be wrong because the source that I'm getting this from also says that the hottest place was in Libya at 136, but we discovered that that was not correct in one of the last shows. So if I come back next week apologizing, I apologize.
No, I like that. It kind of brings up something that I was marinating on a few nights ago. There's a lot of rumors about like this seed bank to where they've got like the seeds for every known plant, and
it's called Manzana or Manzana.
I don't know what it's called, but I think it's somewhere in the north, like way up in the northern hemisphere. And apparently, Bill Gates, formerly of Microsoft, founder of Microsoft, and there was another big company, another big American company that had just been dumping millions of dollars in this facility. But the facility really does exist to where they're housing.
Okay, so we have a physical address, or there's no roads. Obviously,
we know what country it's in, or like the area it's in, but they say it's like heavily secured.
Wow, the fuck.
So if you want to Google it, check out the Doomsday Seed Vault on Google. It'll come up. You'll be able to find out some more information about that. But a lot of money getting sunk into that project. Oh, heavy shit. So just be on the lookout for that. I know sometimes I'm a little conspiracy crazy.
What happens? And I've been silent because I'm still trying to get
confirmation.
Our buddy on the phone here.
Okay. Well, we'll take a quick break. We still have the NFL season coming up. A lot of talk about that.
Oh boy.
A lot of very cool cultural things obviously going on in the NFL as usual. We've got the Ferguson riots.
That issue.
I think I have a solution. I want to run it by you. I don't know if you'll like it or not. We'll see.
Right. You're going to have to keep me up to date on that. I've seen it, but I've seen some videos, and I'm not so sure what I believe anymore.
I have a solution no matter whatever happened in this situation, is it irregardless for the solution that I've come up with. I'll share that next. It's the BNC Show, back in 10 seconds.
Don't you ever fuck with the best corner in the game. Who's talking now? Crabtree! Don't you ever fuck with the best corner in the game. Alright?
You're listening to the BNC Show on the whatever the fuck network this is.
So a lot going on with the NFL. Obviously, the Redskins name change is becoming louder and louder and louder.
Right. There was actually some bitching around these parts because I guess our local stations were playing the Redskins as if they were our team, which I could see what they're saying. They want to build a Carolina fan base. They weren't taken away from Carolina, but what the argument was is that everybody from North Carolina, before the Panthers existed, were Redskins fans. So I can see where that's at, but keep going about the name.
Well, no, the only reason why I bring it up is I see kind of a similar thing happening to what happened with the Clippers. There was such a corporate backlash when that whole Clipper-Sterling thing happened that they had to do something immediately. Up until recently, there really hasn't been this overwhelming tide to where there's going to be serious money lost because of this nickname. Now, the best thing that I've heard to put this in perspective is, let's go back to the time of Martin Luther King. Now, when the big news channels were broadcasting this to Tom Kushoff or whatever the douchebag's name was, they would refer to black people as Negroes. Negroes was a common terminology. I'm fucking 30 years old. I've never heard anybody call anybody a Negro. It's a word that just doesn't get used anymore. It's just been completely eliminated from our society. I think our generation is one of the first generations to be completely integrated in the school systems, especially if you came from middle to lower class families like me and you did, to where we went to completely mixed schools. I mean, if anything, whites were, borderline less than a majority.
There was, and I'm gonna go like polite and be honest about this. There's a definite, what I would call like understanding that we need to understand everybody's culture. There is that with our, right? I mean, we first and foremost try to understand what you believe in, why you believe in it. We want to communicate with you because that's us. People taking trips to Morocco or like Africa or wherever, man. You're bonding with beings on the earth. So I mean, I'm gonna go. I always go that route, but
no. But just to finish
yeah.
what I was going, it's like that word has been eliminated and removed from our culture. In the '60s, you would hear that term very loosely, and it didn't really have any stigma because it was just the cultural norm. But in today's society, even though that I don't necessarily feel that it's offensive, if Native Americans find it offensive and more of them are coming out and saying that it is, then it's almost Redskin has become the modern-day Negro, to where it's like we've evolved past the word has become something else. But then where do you draw the line? Because there's lots of teams named after, like the Fighting Irish. I mean, are the Irish going to stand up and say, well, we don't want to be looked at as drunks? I mean, where do you draw the line? I don't know. I think until you see corporate money come off the Redskins bandwagon, they're not going to change their name. But you've had 50 U.S. senators or whatever write the owner of the team. You had an NFL senior referee that just retired last year come out and say that he had went to the NFL years ago and say, I don't want to call Redskin games anymore. It's offensive. So it's a very sticky situation.
It's sticky, but for the right reason.
It's very sticky.
It's sticky for the right reason.
I mean, there's really no right answer.
You spoke of that word. It's done away with. Like I said, we're far from prejudices.
Oh God, and everybody knows we're not racist, and that's why we can talk about these things. Everybody that knows me and I mean, I probably have more black friends than I do white friends. To be frank with you,
I mean, where we grew up, but that's kind of my point. Is we hit all cultures, and I appreciate it. I've been all over the world, and I think I only have a handful of enemies, if that. If that, I doubt I have any. I mean, everybody hopefully likes me. I don't know.
I think you're good looking.
That's not the point. I hope my spirit's fucking pure, but
I know this has been heavy, but it leads me into the Ferguson.
Well, what
thing.
I was going to say was that it's the oppression that was denounced to the Native American. All right, so progression and all that, blah blah blah. They were forced. You have the Trail of Tears that surrounds them. Just being, I understand. I was saying the same thing. Like, I think the name is cool, but if they brought it up, it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, if they feel offended by it, we need to look into it.
We did the same thing back in the day. I mean, we're not trying to enslave people. We're not trying to. Hopefully, if not, I mean, the government's fucked up to me, folks. But
that was one of the first forms of biological warfare. Was us giving them
whatever smallpox and coughs and shit. They didn't
blankets and shit like that.
No comment on all that. But they were true warriors, and
they got
that.
fucked. There's really not another civilization that I don't feel more sorry for than the Native Americans. I feel so bad for what happened to.
And
the
there's
natives.
not a lot of shit on the History Channel about that shit either. I mean,
whoever controls the present controls the past, and damn well the future. And the whole thing, and it just, to me, it's so interesting to where you're brought up through school and they tell you Christopher Columbus discovered America, and then you get a little bit older and then they say, well, it really was discovered by 7 or 8 different tribes at pretty much the same exact time, but then the Vikings were here 100 years, and you got natives, and then you had the natives trading, and there's a lot of evidence to suggest that the Egyptians had tobacco, and cocoa and cocaine and all these things. I mean,
there's a lot of speculation about everything. I mean, we're talking about 2,000-3,000 years ago. I mean, trees on this planet are still alive. Yeah. Those redwoods.
Oh yeah.
Since the Mayans.
So
if you can believe that,
it's
dude.
Just
so
sticky.
oxygen is given to the earth from when the Mayans. These motherfucking trees are that old.
Oh yeah.
So
pretty wild.
Hey, come on.
So I just, in summation, I feel bad for the people that want to keep the name and keep the heritage. Mike Ditka actually got suspended from ESPN for saying how stupid the whole argument was. They suspended him. But ESPN...
He's under that contract now. Now we're talking about contracts because, you know, and I'm going through this, and that brings up a great point because these guys on Pittsburgh with the marijuana charge, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's like, oh, like, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, when you're under contract with a team, the team has to act. If you're at your job, that job has to act. It's a contract that you agreed to, you know what I'm saying? So, shut the fuck up. But, I mean, I smoke weed.
My man is a heavy, heavy pot smoker. And the reason why I can tell you that is when they asked him about it, this was his exact LaVon Bell's exact quote was, I didn't know you could get a DUI for being high. I smoked 2 hours ago. I'm not high anymore. I'm perfectly fine. Why would I be getting high if I had to make it to my game? Now, only like regular pot smokers could smoke pot and then go play football the same day. You know, you remember when you first started getting high? You were high for 6-8 hours. You ate up the fridge.
You couldn't get off the couch.
Goddamn, I don't want to tackle nobody.
That's when you teach your dog to grab you some chips.
Oh, my God.
Nah,
Jesus.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It's so stupid. I really hope that they fucking legalize it and tax it. The states that have legalized it are doing fantastic with it. You know,
but just watch your shit, man. Because these
watch your
motherfuckers,
shit. Stop riding around smoking weed.
That's what got them caught, man.
That's what got them
caught.
Quit
riding dirty like that.
The cop could smell the pot from sitting at a stoplight. Stop smoking weed in the car.
Yeah, and don't eat it when they come, man. At least be proud of it.
Well, I was gonna say you might, you know, if you get
at least try to get out of trouble right now.
If you get pulled over, do whatever you got to do because they taking your ass to jail. I'm gonna be real with you.
They do that. That's what they do.
All right. Well,
anyway, that was a good lead in.
So what about the last thing? Let's just, before we get off of this, is there anything else in the NFL? I hope you guys have a good year. The Hawks look fantastic.
Cam Newton, much respect. Well, my respect has grown. He basically has grown as a person. I see that.
He got hurt last night, but he's all right. He has like some back contusion, but
I'm not worried about that. Yeah. I'm not worried about that. I'm just commending. You know, I don't need nobody pouting on the stage there.
Okay, fair enough. But good luck to everybody's team. Gets underway. We'll be taking all challengers, defending our title reign. Big up to my people in C-Town. You know who you are. Anyway, you're listening to B&C Show Week 10. Still got some more show to go. We got This Week in History. We have the Ferguson riots. And was there anything else that we promised people? I think that's it.
Maybe a back rub. I'm not sure.
Back rub? Okay, if you call now, B will send you a video of him rubbing his own feet for $19.99. Call now. We'll be back in 10 seconds.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
I'm waiting for you to have like a meltdown on stage. That's going to be fantastic.
It probably won't happen.
Oh, it's going to happen eventually. I can't. Everybody has one. Everybody has a couple. I remember I've had a couple.
Well, bring it on. I mean,
you
hopefully,
like reminded me of a couple actually.
Yeah, hopefully we do. We're playing that much where I do have a meltdown. Like things are not going right, Chris.
No, I don't mean that. It always ends up completely misdirected.
Get B's tiara out.
It comes out just crazy. I mean, I remember I would like. I
it was like the last show. Like when the vibe was cool, everybody was feeling it. We were all feeling it. It was friends and family and other bands that respect us. We respect them, and that's a beautiful thing. And
it's good times.
You know, good music is kind of hard to find. I mean, especially in the live scene. We can edit that Michael Jackson scene you just did. Or was that Prince?
I'm gonna throw the auto tune on it. It'll sound great.
Or what? It sound like what's his name? Michael McDowell.
Michael McDonald is his name. Yeah. I'm not even gonna try to do an impersonation of him.
I can't even try.
He can sing, but I mean, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, but he's got that unique voice that nobody can touch.
If like you asked me who fits in the category of contemporary, he would definitely him and. I mean, to me, guys, like there's
Kenny G.
Well, Kenny G's a good one because everybody's kind of.
What would you call the voice of the studio? Because your mom had asked me.
What?
What is that era? Right there with the absinthe and the.
That's like 40s or 50s.
Yeah, but is there an era? Because that would have been a particular group of people, that were a little higher society. Like Steely Dan makes me feel that. You know what I'm saying?
B's looking at this old school Absinthe poster we got up in the studio, and it's got like a guy in a top hat and like a cane and like the gloves. I don't know if he's wearing gloves, and the girl's wearing like a what do you call that to where it like sucks
like a corset?
Corset. The girl's got the corset on under a dress and like a big flowery hat. It's definitely
and it's like super proper.
I mean, that was definitely like the early 1900s. I don't know, like the 20s or 30s or 40s. I don't know. I'm really bad with that far back. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Probably before the 40s because that was World War II and shit was not dainty like that during that time.
I'm gonna find it out.
All right.
I'll find it out.
All right, so we got a couple things left on the agenda.
What the fuck happened this week in history, see?
So this week in history, was a pretty boring week in history, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely like the weakest. Like, I couldn't find anything worth a damn talking about. I mean, it was just like...
This week.
All right, so...
The end of August.
So in 1934, Adolf Hitler becomes president of Germany. And that was obviously before he just completely became chancellor or whatever, dictator or whatever the fuck he was calling himself. Führer.
Right.
Führer, yeah, that was the...
Well, how'd he do?
He did very well. Actually, if he didn't get the Allies, the fucking Americans involved, he probably would have been successful.
No, that's simply atrocious, man.
He made the same mistake.
There was a lot of money behind that campaign.
I mean, I think before anybody knew who he was, the shit was already moving. Because, I mean, he took Poland in like a month or 3 or 4 weeks. It was nothing.
You spoke about the Hindenburg, man. That's what I was kind of studying up on. Hindenburg... They started their Hindenburg raids on London, and
was bombing London to shit.
They were flying at 8,000 feet, and they could not see from 8,000 feet what they were hitting, and that's the reports. And but they had awesome responses from their home country, Germany. But that's just a little tidbit.
Before I forget about this, I want to tell you I was doing some digging on the operation, the SEAL team operation, to when they went and killed bin Laden in Pakistan. And apparently they had a Black Hawk helicopter that was modified to be stealth. And apparently what made it stealth was the paint. Because when one of the two Black Hawks crashed, it was protocol for them to blow it up. So obviously they couldn't get the enemy couldn't get their hands on technology. But part of the tail survived the explosion, and apparently the Pakistani government let the Chinese government look at it, and the Chinese had picked up on the fact that it was the paint that was causing this airship or helicopter to become stealth. So it was just very, very, very interesting. If anybody
hasn't heard that, and I don't know, I don't really know anything about that.
A lot of this stuff is becoming declassified, at least our side of the story. So I encourage people to check out Wikipedia. There's a lot of really cool stats on that, of like the whole operation and interviews of people that were involved.
And you know what the end result of all this is?
Of that particular strike?
Of that in succession with what's going on in the future, all the way around to, guess what? The movie Predator.
Oh, brought Predator in it.
Okay, man, the man was invisible. He was obviously some type of alien. Yeah. Could just beam in and shit.
Oh yeah, they're already working that out. What they're doing is they're making these suits, and they have nothing but mirrors basically on them.
Yeah,
and it takes.
It looks like you're invisible. It's like some sort of cloak.
Oh yeah, it just takes a picture of whatever's behind you, and it just puts on the mirror. It puts it on the face of the mirror, and you can't be seen. The only problem is they haven't figured out how to get problems like when it gets in really hot environments, the steam is kind of produced. There's like a steam kind of coming off the whole
glad
thing.
Everything goes down in the desert,
right?
Ladies and gentlemen.
So they're working that out. But
Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., big ups to you, man.
If they gave me this iPhone, I can't imagine what they really have. It's scary to think what they really have if they're giving me this type of technology.
Oh, they're feeding us right now, man. They're looking at us right now, sir. They got taps on everything. There's probably like 100,000 employees listening to phone calls and shit every day. I hate to be that guy.
So the last one, like I said, it's been a super boring week in this week in history. The last one is In 1946, Bill.
What the fuck was that?
I had a burp. I'm sorry.
But you blew it.
I blew it out. I was
like you were mad at the fucking guitar over there. Or
I was trying not to pop the mic, but I mean, you gave me out. You gave me away.
Hey, all right. No, I'm sorry. I appreciate it.
It's all right. Hey, that's why that's why we get along so well.
Oh man, B&C show. We'll be back in 10 seconds. I'll let C get his gas out.
I'm not a smart man.
Once again, things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday!
Welcome back. I think C, he left the room for a few minutes, but he's back now.
I had to get away from you for a minute.
Well, fuck you.
No,
we haven't cussed as much. I mean, statistically, right?
I think this is probably the lowest amount of profanity we've ever used in the show.
So can we say a couple right quick?
Please.
All right, cool. All right, I just want to get that out the way.
You usually say a couple fuck yous every show, for sure.
I've calmed down, man. Evidently, I'm not the best person on earth, so I'm just going to...
Oh, God, here we go. Here we go.
Evidently, I need to clean up my act.
B's phone about to blow up with 15 different messages.
People, people,
you're so fabulous.
No, wait. No. You think anybody's calling me? I haven't been announced on the Ice Bucket Challenge.
I know, I didn't get one either, but we already talked about it.
I'm calling you out. You better call me out. I actually want to contribute. But I'm going to wait till I get called out.
Well, now you're, like, setting it up.
That's fake, right?
I don't know.
I'm just announcing it to the world. Like, it's been like a month now. Everybody getting dunked, man. 50 Cent, Floyd Mayweather.
Apparently he can't read.
I don't know what the beef is between them, but I'm like 50. Just dump some water on yourself, man. But he said $750K he was gonna donate.
That's almost $1 million.
If the man could read one page, and I'm just like, well, I mean, apparently, yeah, like you said, he can't read.
The clip I heard of him reading was not good.
Well, he's a fucking boxer, man. Man, motherfuckers can't even see when they box, dude.
My God.
Holy shit. Have y'all seen Rocky?
Oh, Jesus. Really, the last thing on the agenda that we really have to talk about is Ferguson.
What's going on with that, bro?
And basically, if people don't know what happened, you've been living in some cave or something.
That's me.
Apparently, a teenager was killed by a police officer.
Did he have a certain ethnicity? I mean, is it
an African American teenager
and a Caucasian
police officer?
All right.
Now I'm going to make a point for each side, and then I'm going to go straight to the resolution. So a point to side A is that the kid had stole cigars out of a gas station prior to this happening, and they claim he was hopped up on some amphetamine or whatever they're claiming. Now, to the other side of that, for the other side, their argument is that the kid was unarmed, the kid got shot 6 times, one of them was in the head. It just looked like an overwhelming use of force. Now, regardless, I don't want people to get upset. We're not going to take sides. We're not going to tell you what happened. Do your own digging. But my solution to this is to protect the police officer and to protect the civilians. You put a camera on the police officer at all times. We have the technology to where it can be right on somewhere on his shirt, and it sees everything he sees. And that way, when these situations happen, because they're gonna happen, because they're fucking two monkeys in a heated situation, and bad shit happens. I mean, how many times in your life can you think of where shit hit the fan?
And nobody remembers.
And nobody remembers what happened, and everybody regrets what happened. Everybody in the fucking world that has been living longer than a fucking couple of years has had a situation come up to where shit gets heated, it gets out of hand, and the shit hits the fan. So this is not taking sides. I pray for the city. I pray for the families involved. It's horrible. It's horrible. My fear, I have fears just like everybody else. I'm worried about too much control from these big powers. But at the end of the day, the only thing that can solve it, to protect the officer, to protect the civilian, put a camera on the officers, and that way the officers will do their job, and civilians will have to obey the laws. If they're not, then it's all on video, and there's no argument. If something like this happens, put the fucking video out, and it's solved that same day. What do you think? Do you think do you hate the idea?
No, it's actually a fantastic idea, but you just introduced Master Chief from Halo and RoboCop.
Because this is a sticky situation.
Actually, whatever's going down in Ferguson, man, I have my condolences, but like that solution is fantastic, and it does protect everybody. But that's kind of like saying, well, every street corner needs cameras. The cop needs cameras. The cop needs to be a robot. Let's not dive into that either, man. My father was a cop, and what his grievance was towards the end of his tenure was that it took control out of his hands. Not to say that, the bad and the good. I'm sure he did bad. I'm sure he did good. I'm sure he did, everything. But he was like, he helped people, man. It was in his control. If the guy was drunk and he wasn't doing shit, he was just passed out on the side of the road, he could take him home. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having to call this shit in and all this shit.
I see.
But that guy could have fucking got out of control, and said whatever. But, there's probably a reason for all this, but...
I never thought about that.
I like the old mentality where a man gets to make a decision. And, People are confused now because they're just in shock. We don't see enough. We don't do enough, if that makes any sense.
Sure. I never even considered that because both sides are so angry that neither side is making any sense.
And it's probably all from media.
Well, the media is definitely...
The media is the fucking biggest instigator ever.
They were pretty quiet about it at first. I don't know if this is like how legitimate this is, but apparently the first few reporters that were getting this out were actually like getting like arrested and like threatened to get the hell out of there. And I think
and then we bring on the government, which the government is, as we all know, is probably super corrupt. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm not gonna dive too deep because I don't want to get shot. But
it's gotten really, really, really deep.
We need to start questioning this shit.
Basically, the government sending tanks and they were tear gassing people, but then the people were rioting and
how come
looting.
There's not more info on this?
Well, it's out
there. Why do I have to? This shit should be all over the place.
Both sides have got to calm down. The police have got to, and the federal government has got to stop using military, like tanks and shit, like stuff that you would use in war. Get that shit out of there. The tear gas is not. It shouldn't. I think it's barred in the Geneva Convention, if I'm not mistaken. But you're using it on civilians, and the civilians are burning their own town down and looting local businesses. So both sides are doing wrong things. But the thing that really makes me, I already discussed like how upset I am about the concept of the federales really abusing their power. However, I need people to stop playing the race card. I need people to stop saying that racism is a new thing. Racism has been going on since the dawn of fucking time. It's not like, these fucking crackers. Like it's so far beyond race. In 100 years, of 200 years, race is going to be so insignificant. It's going to be, like, we'll all be a similar shade, and genetic engineering will be so fucking common. It disgusts me, and I need people, the ignorant stuff that I see on social media, like, I need you guys, not our listeners, I feel like our listeners aren't guilty of this, and I feel like our listeners can completely understand what I'm saying, because the amount of pollution that I see on these social media sites is borderline disgusting. It's just like, I can see why you don't get wrapped up in these avenues.
What used to happen is you wait till you see your best friend, your brother, your mother, your father, and then you talk to them. No, now you just shout the shit, whether it's good or bad. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be, thank you, Robin Williams, for your all the laughs. But it's just that way of that instant connection. And hopefully, when I put shit out, I hope I get likes. That's crazy because it like invokes
doesn't it?
It's like, it's kind of like back in the day when, like, you get your yearbook signed, you're like, I hope some people sign my shit.
Oh, well, that's a great point, man. Thank you for bringing me back down.
Well, there we go.
Thank you for bringing. I really got hyped up on that. I'm sorry.
No, man, come on. But that's just social media, and the media itself is. I'm not gonna go there, but I'm disappointed with the news media, and I'm disappointed with the way social media is, and I just kind of want to go back to not having that shit. Let's write some letters to motherfuckers, man. When I was in school, you had to write a note to a girl.
Do you like me? Yes.
Yeah, she
or
read
no.
your handwriting.
And don't
you
draw
wrote that
maybe.
shit neat as hell. When she
was
wrote
the
you
shit,
back,
though,
when she
dude.
wrote you back, dog,
That
she was
so
kissing
excited.
the paper.
Oh god, it smelled like her.
She had perfume all over that shit.
Oh,
Now
it
what
was
do you
so
get?
exciting.
You get a fucking text message. K.
Oh yeah, K. That's it.
Be there at 10. K.
Seriously, like listen,
no.
I've been thinking so much about the times that we spent together and our interaction and the kindred spirits
Bam.
that we.
You made a mixtape for her. She made a mixtape for your ass.
And then
she's listening to Seven Dust. She listening to Seven Dust. You listening to the Backstreet Boys.
And the response you get is K.
That's the way it was, man. I mean,
I used to get so excited. Like I can remember being in middle school, getting notes and being like,
don't you remember they used to fucking like fold them? Like in such a way, it was like it looked like a flower or some crazy
like,
shit. You like, how the fuck do I open this
like
shit?
origami or something.
Yeah, had a little letter on each little page. I'm like, damn, girl.
I just like to apologize to the females that I've encountered over my existence.
I believe in karma fully, and I've paid for damn near everything. I think, man. I'm trying to keep a tally now. I'm trying to remember all the bad shit I did because I'm like, Jesus, man. Can I get a little leg up right quick?
So we're running out of time. I just want to end with a funny note. So like, here's a good way of making fun of yourself. Go into Facebook and like think of a girl that you were crushing on like years ago.
And
then go look at the messages you were sending her years ago. You will hate yourself. You will be so mad. You will come back and be like, "What? Who was I?
Who was I?" It's a good practice to think before you speak. And,
try it out. Oh God, yeah. Think about it. Like, don't hit send. Like, whatever you're feeling or thinking.
Anything. We're on this radio show. We're saying foul ass shit. It's just like being in front of somebody, man. Like if Nixon rolled in right now, what, you gonna beat him up? I mean, really, like, come on, like, you gotta think for a second. You know,
he's got better weed than we do, and he's showing it. Oh, okay.
As far as Futurama is concerned, that man's head is in a jar.
That's the thing. The jar shows up, like the jar and the head show up,
and he bar.
You guys have been talking bad about us.
Oh boy.
Oh shit! I've come from the future to tell you guys are very popular.
I like it. I hope we're popular in the future, bro.
I don't know what it is. Like, some shows get a lot of plays and some shows don't. I don't know if like people are in the mood for it sometimes and they're not. Others, or the content, or I don't know what. I don't know what it is. I haven't been able to pinpoint it. I have no clue what like some people like the show, some people don't. I don't know.
And as you notice, we don't really shove it down your throat, so we do appreciate the listens that we do get. So
I was a little pushy tonight, so I apologize about that.
Well, I'm just talking about, like, hey, listen to this. We're not standing in line at Walmart like, hey, fucking check this show out. No. We do appreciate.
I'm just gonna start being weird. I'm just gonna like come up with some gimmick. I'm just gonna,
you just put a sock on your dick, come out.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take like a bunch and just put it all together. Like, I'm gonna have a sock on my dick, like a KFC bucket of chicken on my head, and then like what can I do? Like some like shoulder pads.
Yeah, and soccer cleats.
So I got a sock on my dick. I got soccer cleats on, some like shoulder pads,
KFC bucket,
and a KFC bucket on my head. And
that's the
I'm
way to
up
roll.
there. I can't see shit. I don't know what the hell's going on. I fall off the stage a couple times.
Yeah. You ain't even playing guitar.
I just pee myself halfway through the set.
Throw up.
That's my thing. And then we big as hell.
Yeah.
10 million views on YouTube.
Hey, sign me up.
Well, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, week 10.
Week 10's in the books. We got gonna do 2 more shows, and then
lots of editing.
Season 1 will be finished, and we'll start. I guess season 2 we're gonna have to go to video. Everybody's like, do video. Ah!
You don't want to see naked.
I mean, I really do the show naked.
I'm his brother, and the motherfucker's naked every time we do this shit.
I have like a towel. It's like a booth that like there's like a chair and like a towel.
And the studio's all bougie, man. People bring us caviar and shit. Y'all don't want to see that shit.
No. And there's like Seahawk paraphernalia everywhere.
Everywhere.
So people will get turned off by that.
There's computers and canaries.
I got birds that sing.
They sing. They actually sing my part. I'm not even singing in any Adams song.
On the record, the birds do all the vocal pieces.
They make all the melodies, and then I just copy that.
I just play keyboard on top of it.
To all my ex-girlfriends, now you know why I like the window open on a good spring morning, because I steal melodies off birds.
I don't even play guitar, man. I just
Nah.
I just piped the shit into the damn speakers.
BB King's the machine.
Mm-hmm.
McKeithen. Holla.
Oh, man. All right, well, it's been a lot of fun.
Later, man.
We'll be back next week.